And welcome to the spring training edition of And They're Off. They may be playing baseball down in Florida and Arizona, but March sure came in like a lion with serious snowfall here in Kentucky. Steve Haskin, don't put that shovel away just yet unless Joan is hitting you with it.
She hasn't hit me with it yet, but she is digging a suspicious-looking hole in the backyard. So,
with a snow
got me
shovel.
got me a little bit worried. It's about 6 feet long.
All right. If she would have done that, Steve, she would have done it a long time ago. I wouldn't worry. Just like in New York, where people make it a point to go to the races on Belmont Stakes Day, so it is in Los Angeles with the Santa Anita Handicap. Casual fans who go to the races one day a year make that day Big Cap Day. Run since 1935, the Big Cap reached its peak, I think, between 1979 and 1988, when it was won by, check this list out, Affirmed, Spectacular Bid, John Henry twice, Bates Motel, Interco, Lord at War, Greighton, Broadbrush, and Ali Sheba. More recently, great horses like Tisnow, Freehouse, and Lava Man have won the Big Cap, but the sheen has come off partly because of the emergence of the Dubai World Cup, which has siphoned off, come to think of it, Siphon won the Big Cap too, horses for the past decade. But Steve, the Big Cap is back in a big way this year with Mucho Macho Man, Will Take Charge, and Game On Dude.
Yes, thank goodness we've got a Rock'em Sock'em handicap back again. I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that trainers and owners of pure dirt horses don't want to go to Dubai anymore because they come to the realization that $10 million is worth nothing if your horse is going to run and finish 10th and not be able to handle the tap of the surface. So I think you're going to get mostly horses like Animal Kingdom who have proven themselves on a synthetic surface, have proven themselves on the grass. So I think horses like Game On Dude and Will Take Charge, these kind of horses, I think you're going to stay home now because it's a long way to go. And all they're getting out of it is a 3 to 4 month vacation when they come back, and theirs goes half the year. So now, the owners of all these horses have decided to stay here, and we've got the Big Cap back again. Now watch that everybody's talking now about Mucho Macho Man and Will Take Charge. Now that everybody is totally vilified Game On Dude, watch him win and pay $12 or $13 or something after winning it twice.
Watch Blingo.
But it's going to be a great race.
Watch Blingo win. Hey, Steve, has Wayne Lucas ever taken a horse to Dubai World Cup?
I don't believe he has.
Yeah.
I cannot remember Mr. Lucas there with a horse. You would think on the way the race used to be run on the dirt, a big long striding horse like Will Take Charge, who loves 1.25 miles, would be a perfect fit for it. But you don't know how these horses are going to handle it. Our dirt horses have not been handling that tap of the surface at all.
Yeah. And
they're just going over there and getting nothing out of it.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor is the change in surface in Dubai. But for whatever reason, it's great to see the Big Cap have the kind of spectacular field and relevance that it deserves. It's really one of the great races left on the racing schedule in North America. So,
and don't forget too, by the way, it's a rematch of two horses that finished noses apart in the Breeders' Cup Classic. So, as good as these horses are, their past history makes it even more exciting. I know I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a great race.
And who knows that there may not be another rematch 8 months down the road in the next Breeders' Cup Classic over the same.
Well, maybe there'll be a rematch in the Gold Cup at Santa Anita.
There you go. All kinds of things happening at Santa Anita, but looking forward to the Big Cap this year. All right. The only 3-year-old action last week was the Gotham Stakes in New York. And I think after the Withers, where Samrat and Uncle Si ran 1-2, everybody was trying to find a way to beat them in the Gotham. So what happens? those two New York Breds run 1-2 again. So, Steve, do we have potential funny sides on our hands here?
I think so. Both these horses actually may be more brilliant in their own way than even Funnyside was, as good a horse as he was. To me, it was extraordinary what they did in the Gotham. First of all, nowadays, you rarely see horses who were involved in a gut wrencher like they were in the Withers come back in 4 weeks. You would think that one of the two horses would have passed the Gotham and waited for the Wood Memorial. That's the way it's done now. Trainers like 5, 6, 7, they're going 8 weeks now between races. But not only did both these horses come back in 4 weeks off of that gut wrencher, but they had another gut wrencher in this race. And what was even more extraordinary about this performance is that neither horse, despite the fact that they were eyeballing each other down the stretch and running their guts out, neither one of these horses was even touched with the whip. I mean, these are two really, really good horses. Forget the fact that they're New York breds. That doesn't matter anymore because we've got top California breds now with Tamarando and California Chrome and these two colts. I mean, it's very exciting. And, we've got two really good rivalries forming now too. Don't forget General A-Rod and Wildcat Red in Florida. So we got two very, very good rivalries. Things are starting to get very interesting, but I really, really like both of these horses.
Good. Finally, we got some action going on the.
Yes. Get some excitement. Considering who we've lost here, I mean, the Champagne winner, gone. The 2-year-old champion, basically gone. The Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner, gone. I mean, we've lost all our big horses, so we need this excitement. And I know I'm looking forward to the Wood Memorial for the third meeting between these two horses. It's going to be a humdinger. Can I use the word humdinger anymore? Can you use that word?
Yeah, you can use that. I'm looking forward to Honor Code, so knock on wood.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, he's the last bastion of hope from the 2-year-olds, him and basically Tapiture. But, well, of course, Cairo Prince, too. So you got 3 2-year-olds from last year.
One of our favorite visits at any racetrack where he's stabled is with trainer Nick Zito, who's another New York bred. Nick popped up in the Swale Stakes last week, winning it with Spot. And Nick joins us now from Florida. Nick, congratulations. How are you?
Oh, good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Congratulations, Nick.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it very much.
Nick, leave it to you, Nick, to win a graded stakes with a horse named like one of my Labrador Retrievers.
Yeah, I know. That's what Mr. Moss, when I sent him the information on the horse, he said, God, I thought I was buying a dog when you sent me that. Exactly what he said. That's exactly what Mr. Moss said. He said, I never heard of a horse called Spot. But, yeah. Well, no, but he actually is a really cool horse. I mean, he's good looking. I mean, he's really amazing because he has all these different, things on his body, and they're really nice, because he's roan and he's almost like what they call a strawberry roan because he's got a little red. If you look in it, it's a little red in it. So it's really interesting the way he looks. And they love the name, obviously the fans in the grandstand. I went to watch the race at the 8th pole. And it was easy for me because the good thing is I didn't have to scream or nothing. They were yelling, Spot, come on, Spot. And one guy was yelling, come on, Zito. So that was great. It was good. So I really got a kick out of that. And
well, Nick, what was it about this horse that attracted you to him?
Well, Steve, he ran in the Hutchinson, and he was beaten 7 lengths. And the way Wildcat Air won, when I handicapped the the Fountain of Youth, I handicapped Pletcher's horse, the one on the rail, Wildcat Air, and, of course, Chick McGady's horse. And when I said to myself, well, wait a minute, that's like the top horses, and sure enough, in the Fountain of Youth, that's what happened. So I said, well, if you got beat 7 lengths to them, maybe in our barn we can prove them a little bit, we'll be okay. And that's what happened, and we were happy about that. We took a chance, and I knew Mr. Green for a long time, Curtis Green. He's a long time breeder in Kentucky, and very nice guy. So that made the opportunity better.
Nick, we're used to a different set of Mosses being prominent in the ownership ranks. Of course, Zenyatta's Jerry and Ann Moss. Tell us about your owner here, who I understand is about 90 years young.
Well, he doesn't like to talk about his age, but obviously he's my hero, and you could see why. He was a Marine. Well, he's still a Marine. I guess once a Marine, always a Marine. Very interesting guy. He's kind of like a mystery man. So in November, if you guys can believe it, he goes and buys a broodmare and folds the tap. So he is my hero forever, if you know what I mean. And he's just the greatest guy, and his wife Nina, they're special people. And he's a fighter, and he wants to be around. He loves the game, and you know, we got along great together. He's been following my career, and we just hit it off just great. He's just a wonderful guy, and just terrific for the game, if you could believe it, as you could see.
Is it too late to start thinking Derby with him?
You've been around so long, you know, I love your Dirty Dozen every year, you know, like whichever foot goes which way. You know, I love reading that stuff and Lenny's stuff. And you know better than I, if he's going to do anything, he'd have one shot. That'd probably be the Florida Derby. I know, you know, there's the Wood, there's the Arkansas Derby, there's this race, there's that race. But at the end of the day, if you look in Derby, you know, you got to get points, you got to get this, you got to get that. And for me, you know, he's more like a Preakness horse, I think. I mean, you know, Mr. Moss, like you say, 90 years young, and obviously, you know, his dream would be, you know, running a Florida Derby or definitely running a Kentucky Derby like everybody else. But he's also got a great head on his shoulders, and he'll do what's right, you know, for the horse and everything. You know, I'd love to see us back in the Derby picture somehow. But on the other hand, you got to get there, right, Steve? You got to get there. So I don't know.
You got to let the horse take you.
Yeah, you got to let the horse take you. So, you know, there's no whatever gimmies in the game. But on the other hand, it's only 29 days, and he has to have a great, great month. He came out of the race good. But another big step. And the way I look at it, I mean, if you take, you know, Cairo Prince and you take, you know, Shug's horse, you know, Top Billing, and you look at, you know, even Wildcat Red, if he can stretch out, and, you know, all these horses, and obviously Constitution with Fletcher and whoever else he's going to run in there. You know, you got to make room. Like, if you could hit the board, as you know, Steve, you know, Lenny, then you'd say, well, you know what? We might as well keep going. But to just throw them to the wolves would be tough. But look, let's see what happens. You know, sometimes you got to have faith, and obviously we had faith.
Well, Nick, listen, congratulations wherever you show up with them next. We're behind you. I hope we see you along the Triple Crown Trail, and thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, good luck with him, Nick.
Yeah, I hope so. We'll try one of those Triple Crown races for sure.
All right, sure. Nick. Thanks a million. Take care.
Thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Thank you, Nicky. Bye-bye.
Steve, the synthetic surface experiment in Southern California is officially over, with Del Mar's announcement that it is returning to a dirt racetrack in 2015. Longtime viewers know that I thought this was a grand mistake right off Jump Street. You don't fundamentally change the rules of racing without knowing what you're getting into. This scheme was doomed when each of the three Southern California racetracks decided to put in different synthetic surfaces, leading to a lack of consistency from meeting to meeting, a lack of maintenance know-how. It was unfair to trainers, owners, and gamblers alike. While we all want safer racing, this was not the way to get there, because it led to different types of injuries because trainers just did not know what was going on with how horses hit the track. I've always believed that this was less about safety than it was about the ego of a certain head of the California Horse Racing Board who thought he was going to be the savior of racing. When decisions are made due to ego, it's predictable how they will turn out. The irony is that Del Mar is now willing to pull out its synthetic surface, which did have less catastrophic breakdowns than its dirt track, because it's angling for a Breeders' Cup to be run there. I guess politics trumps everything, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder if if this is being done for all the wrong reasons. I mean, I'm glad they did, because I just did not like the poly track. It was too unstable at Del Mar. But are they doing it strictly because of the Breeders' Cup? Ironically, last year everyone thought it would be Keeneland that would remove their poly track,
yes.
and not Del Mar, because that's what everybody was saying and insinuating. And as it turns out, that's not happening
yet.
But obviously, the Breeders' Cup is a lure, and with or without the enticement of the Breeders' Cup, it's probably the right thing to do for racing there, because of one major reason. Without Hollywood Park now, it's not fair to split the year up and extend the Del Mar meeting and expect horses to excel on the dirt and then make that quick switch over to Del Mar and then make the switch over back to the dirt again.
Yeah, and there's a new meet at Del Mar in the autumn also, so it'd be even more back and forth and back and forth. So, all right. Just a reminder for the one or two of you who haven't done so yet, you can pick up a copy of my book, Long Way From Home, at Amazon.com. It's full of laughs, it's full of drama, so order yours today. How's that for a plug?
I'm about halfway through the book, and I implore everyone, go out and get this book. You're really going to enjoy it.
He hasn't
I'm
fallen asleep yet.
I'm looking forward to the second half of the book.
Right.
I didn't know that Mr. Shulman was an actual real-life author that actually can write a novel, but it was like reading it and saying, wow, this is like being written by a novelist.
It's the nicest thing you've ever said about me, Steve. Thank you. We will be back with you in 2 weeks. That's March 19th. A lot going to be going on in the meantime. We'll see you then with our next, and they're off. 2 months till the Derby, folks. All right, Steve, take care.
Bye-bye, everybody.